Hi, welcome. Soleil here, and this is Creating Conscious Relationships. How are you? In this video, I would like to talk to you about more in detail about one of the services that I provide that I am offering now 50% off, which is an evolutionary tarot reading. Yep. A tarot reading in this context, which is not fortune telling, it's not about making prediction, it's not about nothing like psychic, we can say. I am not a psychic, but I have been studying tarot for some time, and I have experience reading tarot to many people, and this is the product of my experience of more than 20 years. Okay, so the first benefit that you can get from a tarot reading like this is that you can have access to part of your psyche and your spiritual life that usually you don't know that exists. And let me explain. Part of our mind is unconscious or subconscious, and part of our mind is conscious. According to Dr. Joe Dispenza, 90% of our mind is unconscious, and only 10% is conscious. Do you realize what that means? It means that in our mind, the majority of what is going on in our mind is something that we are not aware of. We only operate on the conscious mind. This is just 10%. So when you are working with a tarot reader and you throw the cards, like you pick cards and randomly, and the cards, especially the cards that I use are the Marsella deck, which was restored by Alejandro Jodorowsky, that very symbolic. The cards, they have so many little details, and they usually represent archetypes. So what is archetypes? Archetypes is any sign, symbol, event in life that would happen to every person in the world. It doesn't matter where you were born, when you were born. It could be your ancestors. It doesn't matter what culture, what social status you have. Doesn't matter, because archetypes affect all human beings all over the world, because we all share a human life. So the first benefit is the cards, because the cards are very symbolic, and our subconscious mind has a different language. In the subconscious mind operates on symbolic language. For instance, let's say you are in a situation in your relationship that you feel that you are stuck, that things are not moving forward or in the direction that you wanted to, and you feel like everything is okay, everything is stable, everything is safe and secure, almost predictable, but you feel like something is missing. Maybe the spark is a little, gone. It's not the same as the beginning, which is normal. But you feel like you are stuck in a certain situation and nothing is moving forward. Okay, so let's say you pick the cards and you get this card, which is the Emperor, and that is the card number 4. And this card, number 4, means stability. It's this moment in life when you feel like you have gotten what you wanted, you feel safe, everything is stable, but at the same time you start feeling that something is missing. Well, when you pick this card in the reading, and if you see that this Emperor is almost seated in the throne, but is about to, stand up and do something else. Look at the legs. See the legs? Oh, sorry. So that means the only way to get out of this feeling of being stuck is to introduce a new idea, a new activity, maybe to rethink the purpose in life, and talk to your partner about it. Maybe you're both going through the same situation that you both feel like you're kind of stuck in something that doesn't move. So in that case, the cards will guide you through this process to help you move the energy so things can just flow. Benefit number 2. A tarot reading can help you understand the purpose of the situation that you are going through at the present moment. Let me give you an example. Let's imagine that, or consider that you are having, difficult interactions with your partner at the moment. That you find yourself like arguing a lot, and that you are becoming very defensive and protective of yourself because what he says or she says is, it feels hurtful for you. And you believe that maybe your partner is distancing himself or is trying to, get away from you, and that makes you very insecure and very uncomfortable. So here in this situation, what usually happens, we tend to blame the other person for everything that is going on. It's the other one that is doing this to me. But during a reading, you may find out that what is really going on here is that you have been triggered because there's something, but you have been sensitive to some particular issue that is only yours. It's not that the other person is causing this to you. You're having a reaction to something that is happening from the outside. But the problem is in you. I mean, the source of the conflict is inside you, in your psyche, in your heart, in your memory, in your feelings and emotions. So a tarot reading can help you to identify what is that. Maybe you're facing an archetype. Maybe you're facing the archetype that this is the time to, reflect into situations. Maybe something that's coming from the past, from childhood. Maybe something that needs to change, but in yourself, right? Because you are having a reaction that needs to, you need to pay attention to, instead of blaming. Because if you are having these moments with your partner, and you blame the other one, and you start blaming each other, that is never a good idea, because that doesn't go anywhere good. So instead of that, the cards can help you to see where or what is causing you some discomfort. And your partner is only a messenger or the mirror that is helping you to see and to know more about yourself. Benefit number 3. A tarot reading can offer you a new perspective to face the dilemma that is happening right now. Let me give you an example. You may be going through hard times because of the separation, or maybe you broke up with your partner and you're feeling that you're grieving and you're really in pain. And then, when we are having those emotions, we tend to think all those negative thoughts about ourselves, like no one really likes me, they always abandon me, something is wrong with me, it must be something wrong because this is repeating all the time, I am not lovable, and all that stuff that we sometimes tell ourselves and make us suffer even more. Well, if you, let me say, you get a tarot reading and you may get a card like this one, which is the Papist or the Priestess. If you pay attention to this card, you see that this is a woman. There are some curtains around her, but all the curtains are like turned, inward. It's like some kind of closeness, right? So if you get this card, that means that at this moment, for your own evolution, it is necessary for you to go through this process all by yourself. And whatever you needed to learn already happened. And that's why you are departing from your partner. This is just an example. So when these things happen, because you can, torture yourself, feeling sorry about yourself and blaming the other one, and that is not going to go anywhere, it's not going to benefit you in any way. But if you take a new perspective, you distance yourself and you try to find like a higher perspective, you may find out through the cards that you are facing a transformation in your life at this moment, and that requires for you to be alone. Many times happens that when we go through pain or suffering is a moment of initiation into something new. But most people, the majority of humans, they don't see this because we don't see life as, a process of transformation. But the new perspective can help you to see what is coming next because you are being prepared. There's a lesson that you learn. Maybe you need to learn more about it and then keep going forward. Because in moments like that, if you see this card again, there is a little egg on the one side. It's like this one over here. See? And that means that is a period of gestation when we are like about to give birth to something new. See? Cards are mysterious, but are symbolic. And those symbols has a lot of meaning also according to each person because each one of us have their own imaginary. But in Spanish is imaginario, is our only way to imagine things, our own imagination that is made of symbols, it's made of images, it's made of all that stuff, okay? Benefit number 4. Tarot can help you to see and realize what are the limitations that you are facing that they prevent for you to make the changes that you want. It happens all the time. We are so sure we make our decision, we know exactly what we want to change. Maybe we want to break a pattern that repeats itself and it's not good for us. Maybe you want to stay away from, eating a lot or to, anything in your life that you want to get rid of or to end. And you make this clear decision that tomorrow you're going to wake up and you're going to start, doing the first step. Fantastic. Great. Congratulations. But what happens usually is that we procrastinate. And then we find excuses like, oh, today is not a good day. Maybe it's better tomorrow when I feel better or when I finish the project or whatever. Or you can tell yourself, this is, who am I kidding? This is not going to happen. Never happens. People don't change. I'm being delusional and all that. And through a reading, the whole reading, not just 1 or 2 cards, you may discover that you are about to find out the limitations that they're stopping you from change. And those limitations, sometimes they usually reside in our subconscious mind. They might be fears, insecurities, all sort of things. But if you become aware of those limitations and you know that those are going to be there and you need to really work and, very hard to, for a long time to make those changes, but you may discover that you may have a lot of good intentions, but there's part of yourself that you're not really aware of or you don't want to look at that actually is a little lazy, procrastinates, is very addicted to certain things or situations, and you don't want to see that. Well, if you get the card, one of the cards that is the devil, this is just an example, it will show you that this is the time for you to face what is hidden, what is in the shadow, that is not in the light. And darkness or the shadow is just, absence of light. But we are made of both. Like, Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We are always both things. We are as good as bad, right? So if we don't recognize that we are also like that, if we don't take a look, very honest and with courage to see what are those part of us that we don't like, that maybe we are very jealous, when maybe we were so insecure, maybe we are afraid of something. We are in denial of that, but if we face and we accept that, and then we integrate as part of us, then you can make all the changes you want, because you are not going to face more resistance and more limitations. Well, it's possible. I'm not saying that it's going to happen, but a tarot reading can help you, give you some insights, some guidelines for you to consider. Maybe it's not what I think here. Maybe what's happening here is something that is a little different from what I used to, consider, I used to think. It might be something other thing, maybe something different. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a comment if you have any questions, if you want to, make a comment about that. Remember to subscribe to my channel. And if you really want to have the experience of having a reading with me, you can send me an email to contact@soleilcosta.com, and I will contact you. We may find out when is a good time. And remember, a tarot reading for this time only is $25. The reading, the session is usually 45, 1 hour. And if it can be done online, I do this all the time. It's not a problem. It's not really the need to be in physical presence. It's possible to do this way, and it works perfectly well. And well, share this video if you find it useful, and I hope it was helpful for you, and see you next time. Bye now.